We are the restaurant brokers, and we sell restaurants.
We started the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm over a decade ago.
Atlanta, Georgia was our starting point, but our brand is spreading nationwide. We define restaurant brokerage and help buyers just like these.
Our dream, our goal, open up a restaurant, loving life, serving people breakfast and lunch, and then enjoying the rest of the day with them and ourselves.
Buying an existing restaurant, leasing a closed restaurant space, or purchasing a restaurant franchise. We help buyers satisfy their appetite for acquisition.
I'm part of a husband and wife team with this fella.
Working with my wife has been a lot of fun. The ultimate goal for everybody here is to make this work. And because we have different strengths, we bring different angles to the deal.
The process begins with our powerhouse website, WeSellRestaurants.com, where buyers sign online confidentiality agreements and browse restaurants for sale.
Then we send buyers undercover to check out a restaurant and decide if it's the right one for them.
Buyers get our proprietary business analysis tool with all the financial details on the business for sale.
After studying the restaurant inside and out, it's back to our office.
We are deal makers. We write contracts and negotiate terms for buyers and sellers. That's why we sell more restaurants than any other firm in the nation. We are the restaurant brokers. Our name says it all. You're back on the air with the restaurant brokers, Eric and Robin Gagnon from We Sell Restaurants. We are talking with deli experts today as we satisfy your appetite for acquisition, feed the need for restaurant reality, and serve up a recipe for business success. So, Eric, we've got some very successful Delicatessen owners on the air with us. Tell us, what's the question that you think our viewers want to hear today that we haven't covered yet?
Well, I think, we're really getting a lot of information today from Claudia, Mark, and Ron about the deli business. And those of you that thought it was as easy as just putting bread and meat and cheese together, I got some news for you. Mark, tell us a little bit about, I think we've talked about some vertical integration and some different things in there about the deli business and the expansion of that. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, I think like the guy said earlier, there's competition all around. What's going to set us apart, and how can we be profitable? So in our case at Reno Provisions, our deli is supported by a production kitchen in the basement. There's a butcher shop, a bake shop, a pastry. We make all our own pastas, and then we sell from there to our restaurants. We sell upstairs in our deli / retail spot Reno Provisions is a really big space. And then we sell to other restaurants, which we call white labeling. So we've been able to kind of focus on expanding our brand, growing some of the items, selling more of the items that we make in-house. So you see the same, we call it prosciutto cotto, or the same ham that we make and sell on a deli sandwich at Provisions is on the charcuterie board at Campo, is part of the a sandwich at Heritage, and we serve it on brunch on Saturday and Sunday at the museum. So we're kind of using our products in more places, and then we also sell it by the pound in the deli. We also sell it as part of like a salami platter that we sell for people on like picnics who come in and grab pre-made salami platters with like cheese and so on and so forth. So I think we're trying to get a little bit smarter as we work here, and we've been able to do that by having multiple outlets, multiple restaurants, and this deli concept kind of gives us a great spot. It's kind of like the finishing touch, if you will.
Good. And Ron, along the same veins here, you guys had to relaunch Timone's, right? It was not quite originally the deli, right? You had to tweak this to be more in that more of a deli mode. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. Initially we were focusing on the pizza. We were actually kind of more focused on being like a New York red sauce joint, with some more Italian-focused entrees. And, we found it was really hard to cultivate a lunch following. So, we decided to kind of strip down that concept and then, add the deli, which, obviously gives people a much better sense of purpose to patronize us during lunchtime. And then again, kind of in the true spirit of a deli, we thought that having breakfast, especially some grab and go stuff, would be another attractive feature to have. And, I have 3 restaurants on one street. So kind of to Mark's point, we really like to kind of cross-utilize certain products and be able to cross our brands into one another, to keep reminding people of what we've established here. So it really does lend itself to a really unique dynamic, especially like if people are, on a Friday night, enjoying some beers and drinks at the Family Dog, they can literally walk across the street, to grab a sandwich or a slice of pizza, and also stop in and maybe have that last beer of the night. But that was definitely the main reason to try to, cultivate that lunch rush, that constant traffic of people throughout the day, which at the end of the day, there were bills to get paid. So, and I think to where your check average is, having a certain volume of business is really important, to be able to kind of maintain that bottom line.
So what I think is very interesting about really what all three of you have said today is that, maybe the reason there were originally 1,500 delis in the 5 boroughs and that has shrunk down to 150 is that those owners, operators didn't really look out and get very smart about what they did, either how they expanded multiple restaurants on one street, the idea of vertical integration. You guys are real businessmen. You don't stop with the food. Is that correct, Claudio? Is that a good...
That is correct. I mean, I've had 6 restaurants. I had 6 restaurants in 2 different states. I've had restaurants that averaged 8,000, 9,000 covers. I owned the busiest bar in San Francisco in 1984. We've done a lot. And the one thing that I've learned as I get older is that the first thing you need to do is maximize your throughput in your busiest hour. There's no point in having, and I'm speaking for myself now, I'm not smart enough to have more than one. So consequently, I need to take that unit and I need to figure out a way to maximize my throughput for my busiest hour. I'm not going to waste my time between 4 and 5 and trying to get 10 people in here. I want to take my busiest hour and I want to get every last dollar out of you, and then I'm going to bring more people in. Given the fact I've got a small footprint, that it causes me to think outside the box. So as opposed to maybe coming in and getting the food for me, I have to bring it to you, so that way I can maximize my hour. But until you've done that, until you've gotten to the point between, let's say, 11 and 1 o'clock, where you have said, I am teetering on the brink of chaos, I can't go any further, then in my mind, there's no point in trying to clone yourself into a second or third or fourth restaurant. And again, I'm speaking for myself. I'm just not capable of doing that. My ADD kicks in. I see a squirrel and I go running that way.
Guys, I want to ask you a quick question here before we go against the break. A lot of people struggle with that. They have delis or thinking about it. Delivery. A lot of big chains kind of do it, and stuff like that. So I'd like yes or no in your deli, Ron, yes or no delivery?
We're actually getting ready to start implementing it. So
that'll be a yes. Mark?
That'll be a yes.
Yes, for orders over $100.
Yes, over $100. Interesting. Claudia, how about you guys?
I do deliveries for anything and everything possible within a limited delivery area. We also do, obviously, catering. And we average somewhere between 75 to 100 orders between 11:30 and 1:30. I wrote my own system so that it was an order specific to my menu.
Wow. So you heard it from some of the best deli experts we could find for our show today. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon, the restaurant brokers. Remember, We Sell Restaurants is the industry leader in restaurants for sale, franchise restaurant resales, and site location for the food service industry. Our brand is franchising nationwide. We have offices in Florida, Colorado, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia. You can find out more about us online at WeSellRestaurants.com.